Let's talk to Josh in California. Josh, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes, Josh,
Hi,
welcome.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good.
Pleasure to be on the program. I'm a big fan of yours. I've been a listener for a long time. I'm a Prison Planet subscriber, and I agree with just about everything that you talk about, and gun control, global warming, the fraud, everything. I did want to bring up, though, how, you're mentioning sometimes about some of the people that have issues with some of the things that you discuss on the air. And, well, you used to have, what happened, you used to have Warren Cucurullo on the program, and he became a no-pointer, so I haven't heard him on the program for a while. But I was wondering, why is it that you don't discuss movies like September Clues, which I think are really important movies about 9/11, and you never, ever talk about it?
Because I think it's pure bull. I mean, I'm not here to put out disinfo. And that doesn't mean that I don't make mistakes, but if I think something's absolute crap, I'm not going to promote it on my show, but I appreciate your call. You want me to say mean things about people? I guess I will. And again, why are people obsessed with personalities in the huge sea of people that disagree with official stories? I mean, I met Warren Cucurullo, who does some great music, at a 9/11 thing, 2006. I had him on the show, I think, twice. And people sent me info about Warren, which is a very colorful character, I'll say the least. And I thought, maybe I need to, look at this guy. And then he starts saying there's no planes hitting and getting all these phone calls from him and stuff. And, I mean, that's not what I'm into. So I'm busy. But just because you don't hear somebody back on the show doesn't necessarily mean I don't like them in all cases. I mean, I bet I could get Willie Nelson back on the show. I haven't called him about 4 or 5 months because he's busy. I'm busy. I'm not just chasing stars around. If something comes up to have Willie Nelson on the show, I'll probably try to call up and get him on the show. Jesse Ventura said he'd come on the show anytime. Haven't had him on in about 6 months or 5 months. Got his number, got his email, got his wife's number. I mean, it doesn't mean because you haven't heard Jesse on here that I don't dislike Jesse. I know I can get KRS-One back on. Haven't done that. We want Professor Griff. Haven't gotten him yet because they actually contacted us first. They're out plugging the movie places. But, I mean, see how I got all this news, all this info, all these callers, and my experience with no planers was like people that looked like they were drunk, screaming and yelling, dancing around half naked, vomiting on street corners in front of news cameras of what looked like a setup to make 9/11 Truth look bad. So I was like, whoa, these are some serious people. And then they would attack me, and I went, whoa, they're really serious. And then I would see ridiculous CGs, like as jokes of video game planes hitting buildings and saying, look, it's fake. And I mean, and then I know people I've known for decades who were working in New York that, saw at least one of the planes, and they go, no, you didn't see those. You're a liar. You're a government agent. And then you call them real friendly. Oh, why don't you believe no planes hit, Alex? I don't understand why you're doing this, Alex. Hey, it's a free world. Go talk about it everywhere else. You got to call in. You got to talk about it. Again, this is the mental illness, though. Because this is why we're going to lose, folks. It's why we may lose. Is because it's all about Alex, and it's all about the peanut gallery like this is junior high. This isn't junior high, folks. I got stacks of news in front of me where they're telling kids it's the law they've got to take vaccines nationwide, and they're herding the kids in and shooting them up with vaccines that we know are deadly and we know are soft kill weapons. There is no law you got to take those vaccines. They have a regulation that state health departments recommend that to be in school, you take these vaccines. And the school says it's the law and never even tells you there's a waiver to the non-law that they have to give you by law to let you in the school. But we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to go out and warn people about what we know is going on. God forbid. I mean, I feel like I have a responsibility to warn people. I feel like I have a responsibility to reach out to people and tell them. In fact, I'm going to do that. We're going to take a few more calls. I'm going to do a big news blitz, and boy, is it huge coming up. And then we'll continue with calls throughout the show. But this is what it's like when we take calls. Some great calls, really informative calls, a lot of hot tips, but also all about Alex Jones, all about Alex Jones, all about Alex Jones. It's a psychological excuse not to take action on other issues, okay, and to not face the facts. The good old folks at New Silver Solution. And the website is supernaturalsilver.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. This is something that kills bacteria, viruses, you name it, well documented. They've got it down to a super small nano-sized particle. Supernaturalsilver.com. Check them out at Infowars.com. Supernaturalsilver.com. Okay, who is up next here, John Harmon? Looking at my call list. Steve in Alaska. You're on the air, Steve.
Good morning, Al.
Hey, buddy.
Say, I just have something here. I enjoyed your program yesterday. I'm a long-time listener. On the eugenics movement and euthanasia, I did the Google, and it's like you say, you can't make this stuff up. All you have to do is do a little research.
No, you can't make it up. We're living in a science fiction adventure. It's horrifying, but I don't know how these yuppies and people say, my life has no meaning, I'm bored. I mean, we're in the middle of hardcore eugenics war with psychos running around admitting it everywhere, and the public's just going, no, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, and what about Alex Jones? Maybe you're bad. You know, I mean, God help us.
Yeah, it's beyond the pale. So I'd like to share something with you here that listeners can check out. It's called the Church of Euthanasia. It says, save the planet, kill yourself. And I want to name the highlights here, what is newsworthy, I believe.
And by the way, that's got government officials from England in it. I've actually had the head of that on, and I've had a bunch of other bigwigs on. These are real groups. Go ahead.
They're real, yes. I just want to name their names. Voluntary Human Extinction Movement, Gaia Liberation Front, Globally Responsible Birthing, then Church Approved Links, DeathNet. I'm just going to name a few. There's just
and by the way, interrupting you, just because it's important. You then, if you interview these people, and from other groups I've had on, when you Google their names, they're in bioweapons. They're biologists. See, this is what gets really neat. Just like in the 12 Monkeys, they work in bioweapons. Sorry, go ahead.
It's beyond the pale. Suicide Holiday, Population Action International, Satanic Outreach Coordinator, EnviroLink, Population Index. Now, here's some clergy links. CIA was one of them, AIDS Heretics, and then they have all these clergy links. I'll just skip their names, and go on to their heroes, their saints, they call it. Saint Kevorkian, Saint Sanger.
Yeah, is that the Voluntary Human Extinction Group? Because I've had them on too, or is that the Church of Euthanasia? Which side are you on right now?
The Church of Euthanasia online resource guide.
Yeah. They teach everybody how to commit, and then you find that the eugenics people are behind the death education in school, and you find out the lady that started that in the late 80s, she is then the one that got the feds to put it in public schools, and then suicide explodes. Think about it, and then they brag and write books going, God, a lot of them are committing suicide, but it's not enough. We need more to die. And again, the public isn't psychopathic death cult. They can't imagine that the ruling class is like this. God, we're wide open, sir. Our shields are down. They're running everything. I don't know what we do. And I keep telling the public this, and they're too busy running around acting like idiots. Oh, God help us.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Or saying I'm too extreme or whatever. Anything else you want to add on this front?
Well, yeah, I'm a longtime listener from Kalispell, Montana. We have a really supportive group up there, Al, and I would just like to thank John Stokes and the Kalispell crew.
Absolutely. Well, God bless you and take care, my friend. Let's go ahead and go to another call. I know, it's just, you can take any name of a top globalist or any big foundation and type eugenics or euthanasia or human extinction, and you'll find all their books and writings and trillions in funding, every one of them. It is a cult of killers. And they're really into this power trip of, we know what's best. Imagine the ultimate control freak. What would the ultimate control freak want to do? They want to kill you. That's how they control things. Do you expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. Speaking of Goldfinger earlier. And you try to explain it to the public, like, oh, shucks, come on, Alex, come on. Until you look one time. Just go ahead and open the curtains. One time. You think I'm exaggerating? It's worse than I can even describe. Go behind the curtain. You smell that? Smells like rotten flesh. Stink. The flies are coming out. Open it. Look on the other side.